Hello, guys. Show. Agora deu certo. Deixa eu só selecionar aqui nesse novo link. Isso, agora deu certo. Pessoal, tivemos aqui uma sorte de principiante ou uma má sorte de principiante, né? Mas agora vai dar tudo certo. Agora já estou aqui adaptada na minha nova realidade. Mandei nesse link novo aí, espero que vocês consigam ver, né, esse link novo. E a gente vai começar então. Let's start our class. We had a little bit of problems, but now everything's okay. I can see you guys in the chat. I saw Rafa. Thanks for coming again, Rafaela. I hope everybody can get the new link. And I'm sorry for this delay, guys. As I told you, it was my first time, so I had a little bit of difficulties to get here. But as I'm gonna tell you guys, tonight life is about that, right? Life is about when we overcome our challenges, we have any kind of issues, we just get through it. I'm gonna put my cell phone here on Instagram also for the ones who are on Instagram. So let's get there, guys. I'm not gonna waste any of your time because we already started a little bit late, but I am very happy to have the opportunity to to be here with you guys and to share everything that I have to share. Okay, so today what we're gonna talk about, we are gonna talk about how to overcome the not enough English syndrome and gain the confidence to achieve your goals speaking the language, right? So what is this not enough English syndrome and why it stops us from gaining our confidence and achieve our goals in English, right? So what you can expect learning today? You can expect learning how to speak English confidently, regardless the situation you are in. You can expect how to have the courage to apply for a process abroad. It can be international process. It can be job process. It can be about getting a master degree, a PhD abroad. What are the differentials that can make you be choosing in any international selective process, and also how to talk in a way that people really want to listen to you. We're going to talk about how you can provide people a lot of good information so they are able to listen to you, and also how to speak in a very effective way, right? And also the soft skills that will boost your career when dealing with foreigners. So to start all of that, guys, who am I? First, right now, I am a person who is really, really nervous because it's my first time doing that. But I think I can relate also. You guys can relate with me because every time that we have the opportunity to talk to a foreigner, we feel nervous and we have a lot of concerns in our minds, right? So, but beyond that, I am a person who loves traveling. I live here in Canada, in Quebec City. This is me and my boyfriend working, traveling to Pisa in Italy last year. And guys, this is the reality that I live right now, right? I work in a Canadian company. I live in Quebec City. I have contact with people that speak English in many different, from many different countries every day on a daily basis, right? But not so long ago, that was my reality. I was invited to work in a company in England, and I had I took the decision of selling all my furniture, of quitting my job in Brazil. This was a picture that I took in the day that I thought, okay, that's it. I'm going to another place. I'm going to live in another country. And I don't know if you guys can see my screen. You guys can see my screen, guys? Just tell me if everything's all right. I don't think you are seeing my screen right now. Let me just, because I thought that you were seeing my screen, but I don't think so. Yes, you were not seeing my screen. I think now you're gonna see it. Yeah. Let's see if you are seeing my screen now. Let's see if it's working. I think now it should. Now it's working, guys. I was checking, but as I told you, it's the first time, so I'm having a little bit of difficulty. Yes, now it's working. Now I can see because I am seeing how it is being delivered on YouTube. Okay, so I will start again. We are going to talk about how to overcome the not enough English syndrome and gain the confidence to achieve your goals and in speaking the language. Thanks a lot to my students who are here to give me support. Okay, guys, so now it's gonna be really easier. So what can you expect learning today? As I was talking, we're gonna talk about all these issues here, how to speak confidently regardless the situation you are in. Even right now, guys, you see, I am passing for a very difficult situation, but I am speaking English confidently, okay? So I'm gonna teach you guys how to do that. How to have courage to apply for processes abroad. What are the differentials that can make you be chosen in an international selective process? How to talk in a way that people can really listen to you, and also the soft skills that will boost your career when dealing with foreigners. Okay, and now, yes, I think you can see who am I, and this is me living in Quebec City. As I was telling you guys, I came from a very small town in the countryside of Mato Grosso do Sul, and my dream always have to be has always been to live abroad, to have the opportunity to live experiences like the ones that I live every day right now in my life, to be able to talk to people from different countries, to use English as a tool from my job, as a tool from I could make my living. Okay, and but this is my reality right now, but not so long ago. That was a picture that I took in my last day in my apartment. I was selling everything because I got a job in England and I was going to live there. And in this day, I was leaving my apartment. I had already quit my job. I had sold all my furniture. And just 1 week before I was about to get into the plan to go to England to start a new life, to finally realize all the dreams that I had since I started my journey of speaking English. All the borders, because of COVID-19, they were closed, so I could not go to England. I could not move to another country, and I had no other way of earning money than having my students online. So this was my reality for not so long ago, like 2 years ago. I was living in a very small apartment in a very humble situation. This was my bedroom that I used to work. I was having one of my classes there. And why I'm telling you these guys and why I'm showing you this here, because maybe everything that I'm gonna tell you today, all the things that I have achieved in my life, they are really they seem to be really far away from you, right? You just look at everything that I experienced, every trip that I made, or every international opportunities that I got, and for you it seems to be really far. But for me, when I was living this situation, everything was really far also. And this was not that long ago. 2 years ago, I was living in this. I was living this moment in my life, right? But right now, 2 years later, I work in a Canadian company. I was recently promoted to be a publisher enablement specialist. I was hired in November 2021, and now in December 2022, I got a promotion. So 1 year later, I was promoted. I could have a great raise in my salary. This was me during a retreat. This is the CEO of the company that I work in. Just for you guys to have an idea, he created one of the 10 most growing companies in Canada, and he's not 35 years old yet. He's a very young guy, very open minded. And with them I learn a lot. Like, it's not only about having the opportunity of using English every day, but how much I can learn and how much I could develop myself, right? So from a very humble apartment, from a very different situation, I could grow a lot in life and have these new opportunities and work in this different company. Okay, I'm gonna be closer to the computer here because Mateus just told me to raise a little bit my microphone. Okay, so let me just see how I can do that. Here, I think I can open my microphone. Yeah, now you go back to my class. Yes, guys. After everything that happened today, now I will be calm. I will not be nervous anymore because the worst already happened and I was okay. So let's keep going. Okay. I hope the sound is better now. Just let me know, guys. Give me some feedback. Okay. So after this year that I had the opportunity of not going to England, I joined Monetize More. This was us doing a retreat in Florianopolis. In this picture, you can see people from India, from Canada, USA, Brazil, a lot of my friends from Latin America. We are a very diverse team. And as I told you guys, it's not only about using English to make money, it's about using English to, just increase your knowledge about life, knowing people from many different countries, from many different cultures. And we had Naira. I don't know if you can see her here, but she has a hijab. She's a Muslim girl, and she was there. She cooked for us because in the day that we were in Florianopolis, it was the last day of Ramadan. So she was talking to us about her culture and everything. And today I want to teach you how you can use your English, use the knowledge that you already have to build connections with people and to live experiences like that. Okay, but guys, it was not the only. This one was not the only opportunity that I have to be abroad and to know people from different countries. In 2018, this picture that I'm just telling you guys, it was in the UN headquarters. I got a scholarship. I was the only Brazilian woman to got this scholarship to go to UN to be part of a program that is called Young Leaders at United Nations. So I got a trip to New York with all the expenses covered. This was a part of the Brazilian delegation there, and I had the opportunity to go to Hunter College, Columbia University, New York University, everything for free because of a Brazilian project that I was running. But this was only like a trip. It was something that only happened in my life for 1 week. When I got back to Brazil, like I was the cover of magazines. It was the cover of a magazine of Mato Grosso do Sul, talking about how we could come from a small town and represent Brazil in UN. It was amazing, but it was only an experience, right? But my reality back there, when I came back home, my reality was that I was an English teacher working in a private English school in the countryside, and I was not really living the experiences that I am living right now. I just lived this for 1 week and I came back to my reality. And what separates the Delvana from this first picture, that is only living one experience once in a while, from the Dalvana that I am right now, living in another country, working for an international company, and having all the great opportunities, the great experience that I have right now, is what I'm gonna teach you tonight, guys. So everything that I didn't know back there is what took that much time to develop in my life, right? So if I had all this knowledge that I'm telling you back there, probably I would have got here way earlier, right? So that's what I wish for you. I wish that you could use all the knowledge that I have, that I am sharing with you to get in the places that I am right now, but not with that much time. And okay, so now let's gonna talk about some rules about our webinar, right? So we're gonna have some questions and answers in the end of the session. This class is not gonna be available after it ends, guys, because I respect your time here. So it's only for the ones that are watching it right now. You can leave some questions in the chat. Rob, my teacher of support, is here to provide us all the information that you need. And also, we have a gift for you at the end, so don't leave early. Okay, yesterday I was rehearsing and going to see how I was going to make this class, and I said about this gift. My boyfriend was like, "What is that? I wanna know. I wanna know what is this gift." Even he doesn't know what is the gift until now. So guys, wait until the end because it's gonna be something really really cool. I think you're gonna enjoy it. Okay. So let's talk about who I am talking for tonight, okay? So this webinar is intended for people who know how to speak English, because as you can see, I am speaking all in English right now, but you lack confidence in doing so. I have seen so many talented, productive, effective people with lots of potential that know English, but they feel that they are not able to communicate. So every time that they have an experience to an experience to I saw the comments of Nicholas in the chat. I lost what I was thinking. But every time that they have the opportunity to talk to someone in English, they lack confidence of doing so, right? So today I'm gonna talk to you guys and the ones that are seeking a job for a scholarship, a college education, a master degree, or a doctorate abroad. Okay, so if you have a goal of getting a scholarship of any kind, just stay here because this webinar is for you. The ones who want to go to international congresses. So maybe you are from the health area and you need and you have a dream of going to a New York Congress, a Congress in Europe. You know what are the latest technologies in your area. It can be in the health area, as I told, in the marketing area, in entrepreneurship. Okay, so stay here because I'm going to prepare you to be part of one of these experiences. And also Brazilians that work in multinational companies and have contact with foreigners often, okay? So sometimes also my students tell me like, oh, I had a meeting with a Chinese guy, or there is a partnership with my company from other with other engineers or other people from my job from other countries, but I don't have like the confidence to talk with them. Okay, and this is the agenda of our webinar. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about what is the not enough English syndrome. So this is a term that I came up, guys, just listening to all the students that I have and everybody that I have the opportunity to talk to, and how to overcome it. So I'm going to explain what is this syndrome. I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to tell you if you have this syndrome, and if you do, I will tell you how you can treat it. Okay. The secrets to achieve any goal is speaking English confidently. Okay. So as I told you guys, today I had a very big challenge, and I'm still here speaking English confidently. So I hope that any time that you have any kind of unexpected moments like the ones I had today, you can still have the confidence to go through and to speak English and to do your job in another language. Okay, the mistake that I made, as I tell you guys, as I told you guys, is there are many years that I'm working in this area, many years, like only teaching English is more than 10 years. I have started studying English before that, so it's a lot of time that I took to get into the place that I am right now. So I will tell you all the mistakes that I made and how you should avoid it. There will be a bonus for you or a gift, and in the end I'm gonna present to you an opportunity that will change your life. Okay, so stay with us, stay tuned. Okay, guys, I just want to remind you right now why we are here. Okay, why you are here. We are here to gain the confidence to achieve your goals speaking the language. Guys, speaking English is like 90% of the journey, 90% of the roadmap. And if you guys can understand what I'm saying right now, you just achieved it. I don't know if you know, but the number of Brazilian people that speak English is really, but really, really, really low. We are talking about 5% of Brazilian population that claims that they have kind of a knowledge in English. So people say, 5% of Brazilian population speak English. No, 5% of Brazilian population says that they can have any kind of knowledge in English. So they can maybe translate a text, they can read, they can watch a movie, but can they communicate? We had a research, I'm going to tell you the data after, but the British Council made a research in Brazil and they found out that only 1% of the population in Brazil can speak English. And this 1% of the population who speaks English cannot communicate because they don't have confidence. It is crazy. Like you are just ahead of a lot of people, like a bunch of people just left them behind. But right now that you achieved this goal, that is the dream of many people, you lack the confidence to speak English. So tonight we're gonna tell you how you can build this confidence, and regardless of the situation, you can, speak up and use the English as a tool to change your life. Okay? And guys, let me ask you a question right now. Why lots of people in Brazil, like all of these people that I'm just telling right now, that lack confidence to speak? I'm pretty sure if you don't, you know somebody that doesn't know how to communicate. They feel nervous, they sweat, maybe when they have to speak in English. Why lots of people not even try and fail? Do you have any idea? Leave me in the comments if you have any idea why lots of people not even try and fail. And I would like to tell the story of this guy. Maybe if you are Brazilian, if you're watching this, and if you are from this area of self-development, you know this guy. His name is Wendell Carvalho. He's a coach, and he's a very successful coach. And guys, I had the opportunity of participating in one of his seminars, one of his events, and he told for us, for like there were at least 2,000 people in that arena. He told us that he had the opportunity to go to New York, and he had the opportunity to meet one of the most famous writers in the world. If you know The Secret of the Millionaire Minds, T. Harv Eker, he was invited for him to have a dinner together, and he didn't go. He didn't go. Why, guys? Because he didn't trust himself when it comes to speaking English. And I'm not talking about any guy, guys. I'm talking about someone who came from poverty, someone who overcame lots of issues, and someone who built himself a fortune. He's a very rich guy right now. Someone who has the courage to fill up arenas with lots of people. He does these events like on a monthly basis. I was part of one of these events. That's why I have this knowledge. And even have been able to accomplish so many things in life, he didn't trust himself to realize a dream and talk to someone that he had access to. So, guys, I just want you to feel not to feel alone if you don't feel confident, when you don't have the courage to open your microphone when you're speaking in a meeting, or when a foreigner talks to you, when you just answer like very short, maybe monosyllables, just one word, and you shut up because you don't know what people are gonna expect from you. You are not the only one. Even people who work with self-development, even people who have already overcome many obstacles in life, they also lack confidence to speak English, right? So you're not the only one, and tonight we're gonna talk about that and about how we can, go to the next level. Okay, guys, tell me if everything is okay. Tell me if you are following, if it's too fast, if it's too slow. Just let me know, okay? So, guys, now I want to introduce you the syndrome, right? As I told you guys, I'm not a doctor, but I just found a syndrome throughout my 10 years of experience as an English teacher, and also speaking with my colleagues from the company. Because, yes, guys, people who live abroad, they also feel afraid when it comes to speak English with different people. People who are leaders in companies, they also have difficulty when it comes to present projects, to talk to their leaders, to talk to their employees also, right? I have already seen people who are not native English speakers struggling when they have to talk to their employees, when they have to make a speech, okay? And all of these people, they have the syndrome of not enough English. And what is that? We are going to talk about this. We are going to talk about the fear of embarrassment. So, also, we are going to find out why people like Wendell Carvalho didn't go to a meeting with a person that he admired so much. Okay, it could be also for the fear of the embarrassment. There is also this it's too good for me. Okay, so maybe when you see people traveling, when you see people working abroad, when you see people enjoying the international opportunities that they have, you can just have this mindset of it's too good for me, so don't even try. Okay, the lack of knowledge about the importance of it. So sometimes we just like it's so far away from us that we have no idea how much we are losing. Because sometimes it's easy to see how much we are gaining, right? So okay, if I do that, I'm gonna gain this, I'm gonna gain that, but we don't see how much we have already lost, and just not being able to use the language that we had studied for so many years. Okay, so we're going to talk about that also, and why people fear that much about speaking English with confidence, because they don't get out of their bubble, right? You don't get out of your bubble, and that's why you think that everybody that speaks English confidently, they have a perfect English, they have no accents, they have no flaws, they commit no mistakes, right? One of the biggest gifts that I had from the universe, like when I started working in an international company, is to see that everybody commits mistakes. even us, like if we think about Portuguese, we commit mistakes when you are speaking Portuguese, right? I'm pretty sure that nobody here speaks Portuguese 100% correctly. So when you listen to an American, to a Canadian, to an Australian, to a South African person speaking English, and you realize that they are committing some mistakes, you just like boom, something happening in your mind, and you just think, okay, so like I'm not the only one. Even the people who are born speaking the language, they can commit mistakes, right? So when you get out of your bubble, you start to realize that you are not the only one. Okay. So this is one of my first tips for you guys to realize that if you get out of your bubble, if you have the opportunity to listen to people like normal people, not only English teachers online, you can see that everybody there have their flaws, and there is no such thing as a perfect English. Okay. Guys, after knowing what I'm about to tell you, look at these results that me and my students had. So I already told you about some of my results in the beginning, but I would like to motivate you, encourage you to know more about how I could help other people, other students that trusted me to get their results. Okay, so this is Kezia. Kezia is from my not my city but my state of Mato Grosso do Sul, and she is simply doing a postdoctorate in Stanford. She had already made research in Oxford. When I was her teacher, she was about to go to Oxford for the first time, and she made so great there that she got a scholarship to go to do a doctorate in Stanford, and right now she's purchasing a postdoctorate there. This is my other student and friend. I hope she's there. I don't know if she's gonna be there because we changed links, unfortunately. But she was approved with a scholarship in the management course in the Akron University last year. I was part of her participation for the applying process, right? So I was very proud of her when she got this opportunity. She spent 30 days in Akron University, just talking about management, talking about executives, talking with leaders. It was a great opportunity and an amazing time for her. And this is Aline. Yes, this one, she's from my hometown. She was born in El Dorado, in the countryside of Mato Grosso do Sul, and she's a vet. She's a veterinarian, and she went to do an internship in the Texas University. That is one of the biggest references for the area of medicine veterinary. So she was really nervous when she got the opportunity. I helped her during her process, and I talked to her about how she could build confidence talking with professors, other students, and anything. Okay. And also me, myself. So in this opportunity that I told you guys about when I was in UN, we had an opportunity to build a project with other leaders from our country, and we had to go ahead and present it. Guys, in this room that I'm showing this picture, it must have had at least 300 people, and not only like not simple 300 people, not like any people. They were all young leaders from all around the world who had accomplished something interesting, something meaningful for their communities, and they got the opportunity to be at UN. And I was the only one from the Brazilian delegation that had the courage to go there and talk in front of all of them in English to present what we have. So we finished creating this project. We had to present, and everybody was like, "No, I'm not going. No, I'm not going." And I just took the notebook with my notes there, very nervous, shaking, but I presented it. Okay. So just to tell you and to prove you guys that even when you pass for difficulties, when you don't when even when you self-doubt yourself, even when you second guess yourself, you can achieve great things. Okay. And also about my international career, my international career achievements. So when we create a project in the company and we are recognized for it, we can prove that there was an impact, we receive a shout out. Shout out is when you are recognized in front of everyone in the company for having achieved something. So these are some of the shout outs that I had already received. One of them is from Kim. that is the CEO of the company. Thiago used to be my previous boss, and now I have a different one because I got a promotion. But like I work, guys, with people from different countries, with native English speakers, and even like in this competitive environment that I work, I can great projects and I can deliver my results, and I am being recognized from it. And as I told you, I like to show pictures so you guys can really see like what I have achieved. So in the last year, in December 15th, it was the day when I got my promotion. This is an email from the VP of revenue in Monetize More, and I was really honored to, after 1 year and a month of working in international companies, to be trusted with this new role, and to just take my career to the next stage. So everything that I'm gonna tell you guys works. I hope that right now I have already convinced you that all of this works, and if it worked for me, if it worked for all my students, it can also work for you. Okay. And if you are starting right now just to think, oh, it's good for you because you have spent many years studying, or because your students are different than me, but my situation is different. No, I just would like to remember you that all of us, we can. And I like this picture, guys, because not regardless what is your political side, if you like Obama or not, but Obama was the first black president of the USA. And I remember the day that it was the election in Brazil, in USA, and I was in school in Brazil, and my teacher from high school just told us, hey guys, today is going to be the election, but I doubt that Obama is going to win because USA is a very racist country. They had a very big timing of, separating and segregation. It's going to be difficult to have more than 50% of population trust in a black person. And the slogan, the motto of his campaign was "Yes, we can." Right? So, impossible things can happen for me, for you, for anybody. I don't believe that the impossible exists. So, if you are starting to think that it's not for you, just stop right now and believe that it's gonna be possible for you as well. Okay? Okay. So now let's start talking about the syndrome of not enough English. What is this syndrome? Okay. The syndrome of not enough English, guys. Yeah, Nazaré is here. Really, guys, I put on Google a confused lady. I put in English, confused lady, and this picture appeared. So we can just conclude that Nazaré just won the world, right? She is worldwide famous right now because Google recognized her as the only one confused lady in the world. But what is the syndrome of not enough English, guys? It's when you are not able to use your English in real life. So you are amazing when you have to speak English with your teacher, with your friends, maybe when you drink something and you are with your peers in a bar. But when you have to go for a job interview, when you have to speak up in a meeting, you just are not able to use your English. And why? Because you think it's not good enough. It doesn't matter how much time you spend studying, doesn't matter how many people told you that yes you can, that yes your English is good. Every time that you have this opportunity, you just block. You don't know what happened. You just freeze, and doesn't matter what happens. You feel these symptoms in your body. Okay. And what causes this syndrome, guys? So as I told you, I'm not a doctor, but I will tell you what are the causes of this syndrome. The first one is the fear of the embarrassment. Guys, today I think I have a great example to tell you because I just committed a mistake when I was starting my live here, and I was really embarrassed. Wow, it's my first time doing a YouTube live, and everything goes wrong. I had to shut down the video and I have to start all of it again. Most of people, they prefer to live a life um, without the possibility of having this kind of embarrassment. They avoid all the opportunities to be embarrassed. There are some research that say that the fear number one of people is to speak in public, but actually it's not the fear of speaking in public, it's the fear of the shame, of the embarrassment that can come with this act of taking a microphone and speaking in front of a lot of people, right? But guys, I just would like to tell you something. Embarrassment is the cost of the entry. Okay, so I would love to come here tonight, guys, and tell you, you know what? you're never gonna be embarrassed. It's never gonna happen. No, no, you can go there, you can travel all around the world, you can apply for all the process, you can try everything you want in life, and you are never gonna be embarrassed. But I would be a huge liar if I tell you that. So I'm just gonna tell you that yes, you're gonna be embarrassed. You're gonna be embarrassed. You're gonna feel embarrassed. But embarrassment is the cost of entry, okay? And we have to be able to pay this cost, okay? You have to be able to pay this price. Just like tonight, I had this little problem. I was really embarrassed, but here I am, right? This is the cost. There is something that I want to achieve. There is something that I want to conquer with this. So I have to pay the cost. I have to pay the price, right? And what is the best is you to stay where you are right now, just dreaming about achieving everything that you want, or you go there and try it and feel embarrassed, but you can like change your reality and live in a different way that you have ever lived before. Right, so I think we have to just digest this idea that we will always be perfect. There is nothing as that in the real life, and every time that you are gonna speak with other people, it doesn't matter if it's in your own language or in English, you have the possibility of being embarrassed. But just think about that as a price that you have to pay to overcome all your obstacles and to get on where you wanna be. Okay. And also, guys, when I'm thinking about embarrassment, I love a TED Talk by Brené Brown. I would love Rob to put in the chat for us now this link of this TED Talk, Rob, if you can just share with us that she talks about the arena, right? The arena is one of the poems from Theodore Roosevelt, and he made one speech one time talking about the men in the arena, and it's one of the most famous speeches of all times. And I'm not gonna read all of it fully, but just would like to highlight some parts of this poem that he says that it's not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives violently, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. So he was just making an analogy about life, guys. When we had this kind of confront of the knights in the past, that they would go and maybe they would have to fight with a lion, they would have to fight between one another, and everybody's in the audience just looking at them in the arena, and they are pointing out what is wrong, they are pointing out, they are criticizing, they are creating some stories, they are saying how they should have done this or that, but they are here very comfortable sitting in their chairs just watching someone who is in the arena. Okay, so every time that you receive a critic from someone, you just think to yourself, is this person in the arena? Is this person really trying to achieve something in life? Is this person already doing anything that I'm trying to do? Oh, this person is just watching me from a very comfortable chair in the audience while I'm here giving my sweat and my blood to achieve my goals. Okay, so there's gonna always there will always gonna be someone to tell you that your English is not good enough. There will be always someone to make any kind of joke when you commit a mistake, when you don't remember a word. But you cannot let the critic define your life. You have to be the one who is in the arena and who knows that you are giving your sweat and your blood to achieve your goals. And the people who are in the audience, they can watch the show, but they will never raise the prize, right? They'll never get the award. So just keep that in mind every time that you feel embarrassed of someone make any kind of joke. Okay, just think, I am the arena, I'm fighting for what I believe for, and it is very easy for you to point out for me from the audience. Okay, good, guys. Just tell me if you like this analogy, if you like this poem, if you knew about this analogy, if you know Brené Brown, just let me know in the comments, and we're gonna go further with the mongrels complex. I am pretty sure you had already listened to this expression in Portuguese that means complexo de vira-lata, right? So mutt and mongrel are words in English to describe cachorros vira-lata. So this mongrels complex, it's another reason why people don't even try and they fail when it comes to speaking English confidently. And this concept of the mongrel complex was created by Nelson Rodrigues, that is a Brazilian writer, and he developed it because he said that after we lost the final game, mm, 1950 against Brazil and Uruguay. It was a final World Championship, soccer World Championship, and you know that us Brazilians we are just crazy about soccer. And until there, we had never won any World Championship. So after the final of 1950s that we lost in Maracanã in Brazil, we lost for Uruguay. That's what would have done our first World Championship. We developed this complex, this mongrel complex, that he says that is the inferiority in which Brazilian people voluntarily place themselves. He says that Brazilian people they are an inverted narcissus that we spit in our own image. And he says that we find no personal or historical pretext for self esteem. And unfortunately, guys, living abroad and being able to talk to many Brazilian people who also live abroad or had already gone to another country, unfortunately, I have to agree with him that we have this mongrel complex. Every time that I listen to someone saying bad things about Brazil, they are Brazilian. And every time that I listen to someone saying incredible things about Brazil, they are not Brazilian, right? So unfortunately, we had this thing very emerged in our culture, right? To think that Brazil is the worst place of the world, that USA and Europe and everything is better than us, and that being a Brazilian is a disadvantage, guys. And I would like tonight to just tell you that being a Brazilian coming from a third world or maybe an emerging country, it can be an advantage for you if you know how to turn it into something good to create your career internationally. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how you can use the fact of being Brazilian in your favor and how can you stop once and all to compare yourself with foreigners and to feel that you are inferior to them? Okay, I would like to present you guys my friend Peter. He's Canadian. I'm a little biased, I'm a little biased because I talk always about Canada, and I use the engineer example. You guys, if you know me, you know why. But I would like to introduce to you this friend. Peter, he's Canadian. He has a career, international career. He studied 2 years old, and he went to New York University. Right, Peter, when he was in school, he went to a Canadian school. During his first year, he had Spanish classes. He is a English native speaker. When he finished high school, he went on a trip with his friends for Europe. During college, that is the period between high school and university. Here in Canada, they have 2 years that they call college, that it's not considered a university and it's kind of a technical course that you do. He had time to develop his abilities. He had a support from his teachers, from all the structure from the school to tell him what was going to be the best way for him to go through in life after he finished college. And after these 2 years of college, he went to university. He made a great job there. And once he was graduated, he got a job in a multinational company, and now he's a leader and he's working there. And he's a very happy person. Okay. Now we have Roberto. Roberto that could also be called like Betinho, as Betinho from his friends, okay? Roberto, he doesn't if you compare like the beauty, maybe he cannot beat Peter. It's a little bit difficult for Roberto, but he has a Brazilian way, he has a charm, he has a different assets to compete, okay? Roberto is also 32 years old and he's also an engineer. He went to UFRJ, okay? But Roberto is from a countryside city of Rio de Janeiro and he used to help his parents when he was doing high school. He went to a public school. During the time that he was purchasing his high school, he after school he also had to help his parents. His mother was a teacher also. He didn't have any time or money to learn English during his first years of life, but when he got to university, he started studying English. During university, also he had the opportunity to make an internship program, and there he could learn more. During college, he was working at night as a waiter, and just having all these difficulties that usually Brazilian people have to pursue a degree. Most of us in Brazil, when we are trying to get a degree and also learning another language, we face lots of challenges. And Roberto got there, he graduated, he got his job also in a multinational company that has a partnership with Peter. Okay, so guys, where I wanna go with this comparison, right? Why I wanna show you Betinho and Peter, right? Because guys, which one of these profiles you think had to develop, had the opportunity to develop throughout their life more creativity, more strategic thinking, more working and thinking under pressure? Which of these ones? Of course, I'm not telling that Peter is worse than Roberto. Roberto is better than Peter and everything. But Peter, we can also agree, we can both agree that everything that he achieves in life, it's a given, right? It's expected from him to get everything that he wants because he had a support, he had all a system, all a structure that took him to get where he wanted to be, right? uh, Differently from Roberto. Roberto, otherwise, he had to make his way through. So he is a very much more resilient guy. He's very creative. He knows how to deal with pressure. He knows how to organize himself. And he developed all of this because he had no other choice. If he was not an organized guy, a resilient guy, a creative guy, a strategic thinker, he would never get in the place that he is right now. And what is the most interesting thing for me here, guys, and it is that after going through all this challenge and going through all these difficult moments and creating his path against all the odds, Roberto, Rob, put for me the expression "against the odds" also in the chat for them to know about this one. So Roberto, he fought against all the odds and he got there. And when he gets there, he doesn't feel confident enough and he feels that he is inferior to Peter, that Peter is a way better guy, that he doesn't have the chance to get to where Peter is, that he doesn't have the ability to compete with a guy like Peter. And what I want to tell you and what I want to show you with all this comparison here, guys, is that your origins are not a flaw, they are a strength. Okay, and I use also these expressions here, guys. So everything that Peter gets in life, that's a given, right? And I'm biased because I talk a little bit about Canada because I live here. But coming back to our content here, your origins, they are not a flaw. They are your strength, okay? And you can use everything that you have been through as abilities to differentiate you. Okay, so every time, I'm pretty sure that if you are Brazilian and you are listening to it, you had already to change and to adapt. You had to develop resilience throughout your life. You have to be creative. You have to be strategic when it comes to things. And all these abilities, guys, they are really, really valuable, especially in the international labor market. And I'm gonna prove you that. This is a position opening on LinkedIn. Is a real position. It's open right now. You can go there. You can apply for it for the region of Montreal. That is a city next to Quebec City where I live right now. And look what is the description of this role, right? You are expected to think outside the box, to bring fresh and innovative ideas, to be able to pivot and adapt as needed, and to be a strategic thinker. Just like I told you guys before, that are all the abilities that we have to develop in life in Brazil. We have no option. Either we develop these ideas or we just don't get anywhere, right? Unfortunately, we don't have this support system in Brazil nowadays. And if you have, you are really, really lucky. But most people in Brazil, they don't have this opportunity. Okay, and I just would like to highlight here, guys, what is the salary? Because here in Canada, we only talk about how much you can make in a year. So this person will get $200,000 a year in USD. You can make your calculation is 1 million reais a year, guys, or $16,000 a month, and the huge amount of 80,000 reais, okay? And it's a remote job, guys. If you don't know what is remote, it means like home office. You don't use the expression home office in English. It's only a Brazilian expression. When you want to say that you work from home, we use the work remote, or I work remote, the job is remote. So it's a remote job. You can live in Brazil and you can have this huge amount of money. Okay, if you just tell them and show them that you have all these abilities that we just talked about. Okay, and the ability to pivot, guys, is another expression that I wanted to show you. Is to completely change the way in which one does something. So it's the ability of changing everything from day to night. So I hope you had already been convinced that you have to stop comparing yourself to others in a bad way. Okay, just think about all the flaws that you had and all the difficulties that you had to overcome, and how you got into a place that you have the opportunity to talk to people from other country, or that you have these opportunities to go abroad, is because you had already make your path doing throughout a very hard journey. And your life experiences are available in any context. They are not only available for you or for your own comfort zone. They are available in any context, especially for people that come from a different reality, that come from a different background. For us in Brazil, it is normal to talk that we had to work during college to pay our bills, or that you had to work in two different places at the same time, or that you had to work and study English. And when you were in college, already living by yourself. For people from other country, this is amazing. This is incredible. How you guys do that? Because they come from a different way. They come from a place where things are more organized, and they have support for learning language, for example, since they are really small, since they are little kids. So share your vulnerabilities, and share your vulnerabilities in a way that make them work for you, right? That you can turn them into advantages for you. Okay? And I'd like to highlight this again, guys. Surprisingly, just being able to speak English, being a Brazilian, is a great advantage. Just like we told before, only 5% of Brazilians claim to have some knowledge in English. If you are able to talk the book is on the table, you already have a knowledge in English. So these 5% of people, they don't communicate in English like I am doing right now, guys. But they have some kind of knowledge that they don't specify here in this research. But the British Council, they made a recent survey. It was June 2022, guys, when I took this data from, and they state that only 1% of the Brazilian population speaks English fluently. But people don't know that. People don't know that. But so maybe when you go to um, interview, or when you're participating through a selective process and you are talking to a guy from Russia, you are talking for a guy from, I don't know, USA, Germany, he has no idea what is the reality in Brazil. He thinks that everybody in Brazil speaks English. So if you have these opportunities, just make sure to highlight that, to tell them that. I am part of the select number of 1% of the population of my country. And we're not talking about a very small population. We're talking about 220 million people in Brazil. And I am inside of the selected group of 1% who got who got what it takes to learn another language, right? So maybe you are there thinking that your English is not good enough, but just being able to communicate in English just make you a very differentiated person. Okay. Also, guys, working in a Canadian company and working in an international company with people from many different countries, I came to realize that people don't care about your English. They care about your results. Of course, your English has to be good. You have to be able to communicate. It's really is really great for you to have a great grammar, if you know more expressions, if you know more vocabulary, but all of that are secondary. All of this is secondary, guys, because what the companies want is someone who can deliver results. So they don't care if you can speak one word or if you can speak the same word with 20 synonyms, you know. The important for you is to be able to understand them, to be able to communicate, and to be able to deliver results, especially in a place like Canada that has, guys, Canada has less population than the state of São Paulo. And the territory that they have here is as big or bigger than Brazil. I think it's bigger than Brazil. So they really need people to come here, you know, with hands-on. Roberto, put this expression hands-on in the chat, please. With hands-on, people who want to, you know, to help them to create a better country and to work in the labor markets that they have here. So, guys, if you are able to communicate, of course, it's incredible. It's important for you to improve your English, but you cannot like just stop your life of not applying for any opportunity just because you think your English is not good enough. Because at the end of the day, what they want is to see your results. Okay. One other tip, guys. Now we're gonna go to the part where I am sharing some of my mistakes with you. And this one is one that I learned working in the customer success area. So my first job in this Canadian company was to make walkthrough calls in our software. So basically, I just had to make a call one-on-one with the clients and show them how to use the software. And I just learned it in practice that I have to forget about my Brazilian way. What is this Brazilian way, guys? Every time that we start any interaction, if we are Brazilian, we just tend to, you know, break the ice. And so, for example, if I'm going to start a call with you, a class, I do that with my students on a daily basis. I start my class and I say, hey, how's it going? How's the weather where you are? How's family? Your weekend was great. Oh, you look nice. I like your scarf. I like your necklace, whatever. Just creating, you know, small talk. And this is great if we are talking to someone from Latin America that has a similar culture than us, or if you are talking to another Brazilian. But if you are talking to people from North America, especially from USA, Canada, some countries in Europe also that are very cold and very closed, they don't like that. They like you to be straightforward. Okay, so you just start whatever you have to do if you are participating in a job interview or if you are applying for any kind of scholarship and you have to talk to someone about that and you are going to be analyzed by it. Don't waste their time, right? They are really like time driven, so they want you to be very straightforward. So just skip this part, and you know, if you have to answer questions, you just keep straight to the script and try to forget this Brazilian way, okay? Also, guys, I think this is kind of it's kind of obvious, but the obvious is never too much said. But our Brazilian way of trying to be smarter than others, maybe you don't do it, but maybe you mention that in Brazil we know how to make things easier. It's better when you know someone. Just don't mention that. It's not gonna be a good point for you. Okay. Also, guys, other mistake that I committed and I have seen people committing is when you have information about other countries and you try to make small talk. Roberto, put small talk for us in the chat also with sensible topics, right? What would be a sensible topic, guys? Anything that is on the news, it can be a war, it can be, I don't know, a political issue. You want to create a connection with a foreigner and you don't know how to create this connection and you just start talking about a sensible topic, right? Don't do that. I have a story when I was in Colombia, 2018, I went to Colombia with some friends, and we were having breakfast with Colombians in a hotel, and they were telling us that they had this custom, that they have this culture in Colombia to take a dummy in the last day of the year and to fill this dummy with lots of fabric, lots of paper, and to put a face of someone in this dummy and put fire on it in the end. And this person can be, I don't know, someone that they didn't like some of the postures of the attitudes of this person. So it can be like a politician, it could be a singer, an actor, anybody. They put a face of this person in a dummy and they put fire on it, and this is a way of them to celebrate New Year's Eve. It was kind of weird for us. So my friend started asking about, okay, but what kind of people? And they were talking about some possibilities and everything. And another friend, when they were talking about who could be like the face of this dummy, he just said, "Oh, like Pablo Escobar." And all Brazilian people were just like, "Ha ha ha ha!" We laughed a lot. Remember, guys, we were in Colombia, right? So all Brazilian people, ha ha ha, we laughed. When we looked at the Colombian people, they were totally serious. Nobody laughed. Nobody followed us in our little joke. It just killed the vibe. We were having a very cheerful breakfast, but it was just over. And so we just realized that we had said something wrong. Hours later, I asked a friend that I have made there, who is from Colombia. I asked her, in Brazil, we have this Narcos web series, and there is a Brazilian guy who plays the protagonist. So I don't know, people in Brazil, we are very curious about what is the story of Pablo Escobar here and everything. And she just told me, very serious, this is a taboo here. We don't talk about that. We don't like people to talk about that, especially foreigners, because the war killed many, many people. So the chance of you making jokes about the war between the narco traffic and the government, and somebody's father or somebody's cousin has died during this conflict is huge. So we don't talk about it, and also we don't like foreigners talking about it because we are a great country. We have lots of things to offer, incredible beaches, but everybody just think about Colombia and they make a connection automatically to narco traffic or to cocaine or to drug dealers. So we don't like to talk about that. So I just came with the conclusion that every sensible topic, every little joke that you can have about any other country, like if you are in a process, in a talking to someone in a job or any of these contexts that we were talking here tonight, just don't talk about sensible topics. It's better for you to like don't lose the opportunity because you were talking about something that they didn't like. Other fact that happened, this didn't happen with me, happened with one of my students. He was making an interview for a company. He was in Brazil, he was in Florianópolis, and he was applying for a job in Ukraine. He was applying for a remote job from a Ukrainian company. And they were doing the interview and everything. And the guy that was interviewing him, that was interviewing my student, who is from Brazil, said him like, we are interviewing you because we lost lots of employees that went to the army to put themselves in the war. And my student just made a very little comment like, oh, that's sad. When he said that sad, the interviewer just looked at him and said, why you think that's sad? And very angry, he said that the guy totally turned and he totally changed and he was totally serious. And he said, my student said, oh no, you know why? Because wars are bad. I don't like wars, and I think it's not good for anybody. And the guy said, yeah, it's not good for anybody. We don't like wars either, but it was not us that started it. And my students told me that after that the interview like didn't go well, and he didn't got the job. He didn't get the job, obviously, but it was like just a small comment, just like a little comment about a sensible topic that made the guy feel very offended. So we never know how the other person is gonna receive our our statement. So yeah, you better be quiet when it comes to sensible topics. You better be quiet, okay? Also, guys, don't translate expressions, okay? They don't mean anything. So If you say to a foreigner person, today the snake is gonna smoke, the person will never understand what's gonna happen, okay? If you didn't get what I said a cobra vai fumar, right? He will never understand what you're saying. So I know it can also seem a little bit obvious, but I have seen people saying, trying to translate kind of expressions in English, and it doesn't go well. It's just like this one, tea with me, chá comigo. Sorry, guys, I really like to make jokes, but don't translate never any kind of expression, because in English they had already some expressions to express the same ideas or the same feelings that we want to express when we come to some expressions in English. And yeah, we're gonna learn about that later. But you have to learn how to express the same idea without translating the expression. Okay. And the last tip that I have for you today, guys, one of the last actually, is something that I would like to turn into a mantra. When a student comes to me, I always say that Google Translator is not your friend, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna show you why. So I just trying to put an expression here and look what was the translation of Google Translator, right? So every time you want to translate any word, you don't use the Google Translator, because as you can just see, it can give you lots of different contexts and can translate in a very different way that you want it to. Okay, so what would be like this expression in English, right? It could be apple polisher, it could be flatterer, and it could be bootlicker. This last one, bootlicker, is really offensive, so be careful when you use that. Apple polisher and flatterer you can use like more deliberately. Okay, so if you had to translate anything, what you can use, right? Use Cambridge Dictionary. Robert is gonna put this in the chat for you guys. Cambridge Dictionary is an amazing dictionary. I love it because it shows you what is the grammar function of the word. It shows you what is the pronunciation. Very good. Erica told me that she learned. Finally, I'm happy for you. Happy for you, Erica. It shows you how to pronounce this word in the British accent, in the English accent, and also it shows you how to use this word in many different phrases, in many different contexts. Okay. And also another option for you guys is Lingui. Lingui is one dictionary that can translate the words from English to Portuguese, also Portuguese to English, and they show you paragraphs of some websites, some books, some PDF documents that we have online, and you can see the same word used in different contexts. So I recommend Lingui. Both of the links are on the comments. Okay, guys. Let's keep going, guys. I don't know if you saw recently, I got my first hater in Instagram. I was so happy, guys. You don't know how realized I felt, because I learned that when you have a hater, it's because you're famous. So I just flew to Hollywood. Like one month later, I just said, okay, now I have a hater. I have to go to Hollywood because I belong with the celebrities. Just kidding, guys. But I will drink my little water. But just to tell you that your accent is not a problem, because this hater that I got, he was saying that I had to work on my Brazilian accent because it was too much. My Brazilian accent was too much. And I'm here to tell you guys that I have achieved everything that I have already achieved in life with my Brazilian accent, and I don't intend to change it. I really like the way that I talk, and I'm not ashamed of where I'm from. But if you want to change your accent, that's totally fine. It's just not, it's my case, okay? So your accent is not a problem, guys, but mispronunciation is. So mispronunciation is when you pronounce the words in a not correctly way. For example, we have the word curse, right? Curse, that it means amaldiçoar, xingar alguém, right? And we have the word course. That is what you guys are having right now. You are taking a course in English. You are taking a very short English course. Okay, so you can imagine if you are talking to a foreigner and you says that he needs to take a course, but instead of pronouncing the correct way, you just say that you need to curse somebody. So just pay attention to your pronunciation. You don't have to change your accent, but you have to be sure that you pronounce the words correctly. Okay, so yeah, when you have these very similar pronunciation words with very different meanings, like we have to be very careful. Okay, and I always say that my accent is not a problem because for me, having a foreign accent is a sign of bravery. It means that you come from a different place, you come from a different country, you have overcome many flaws, and you can speak another language right now. One tool that can help you guys to pronounce correctly is Google Pronounce. It's difficult to generate a link from Google Pronounce because every time that you put a different word there, they generate a very large link. But what you're gonna do, you're gonna go to the search bar of Google and you're gonna put Google Pronounce, and it's gonna open this pop-up. Here you can change the word that comes after pronounce. So you can put, for example, Google Pronounce book, Google Pronounce Google, Google Pronounce, I don't know, Canada, and it's gonna open this pop-up. Here you can check how you can pronounce. You can click on this speaker, and also you can see what is gonna be the movement of the mouth there when you are pronouncing this word. So it's good. You can listen and you can also talk. It corrects you if it's good or not. So, and repetition is key, guys. Repetition is key. Every time that you have a word that you have difficulties that you are struggling to pronounce correctly, you use Google Pronounce over and over again until you get the correct way. Okay. Also, guys, every opportunity you have, speak up. Speak up. I have been recognized in my job for all the projects that I have been leading there, and it's not a coincidence because everything that I do, I make sure that everybody knows what I'm doing, and when it's successful, I make sure that everybody knows that it's successful. And every meeting that I have the opportunity, I open my microphone and I talk about my ideas, what I agree, what I don't agree, what I disagree, and what I don't disagree. Okay. And you have to be noticed for that, right? It doesn't matter if you are working for a Brazilian company speaking Portuguese, if you want to get a promotion in Brazil, or if you want to go abroad. It's important for you to know how to communicate the job that you have been done. Okay, and I put here, guys, this TED Talk. Your next job is one conversation away. I will ask Rob to put this link for you guys. This is a TED Talk that the speaker says that every time that you open and you talk about your experiences and everything that you have already accomplished in life, you can open many doors for you. So maybe if you are not getting many opportunities because you're not speaking up enough. Okay, so check it out. It's a great TED Talk, and I love TED Talk, guys. I use TED Talk with my students, and it's a great source of knowledge. Not only source of knowledge of English, but source of knowledge for life. Okay. And one technique that we can learn from the TED Talks is the mirroring. Mirroring is when you become a mirror with the other person. So maybe you want to increase the quality of your speech, or you want to acquire a different accent, you want to have the same velocity that the person talk. What you're gonna do, you're gonna listen to this person and you're gonna repeat right after her or him, and you are going to train your body, your voice, to imitate the way that this person talks. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I do that and how I teach my students to do that. And I put a little video here of a demonstration. Guys, every time that you watch TED Talks, make sure you are watching a TED Talk in the platform of TED, okay? TED.com. Don't watch the TED Talks on YouTube. Because in YouTube, okay, it's great, there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't have all the information that the TED platform can provide you. In the platform, you can see what is the speaker background, what are the details about this TED talk. Maybe he made any kind of reference about a book, another video, another movie, and they put all this information below. And also, and the most important is that they have the transcript. So with the transcript, you can just click on the words and you can listen to the audio and just follow how the words are written. And you can also click down and you can just do what I said you before about repetition. You can just click and it's gonna come back and repeat as much time as you want. I'm gonna show you in this small video, in this very short video, how you can use TED Talks to improve your speaking and to improve your pronunciation.
People are funny. We're constantly trying to understand and interpret. I live in a house with two black cats, and let me tell you, every time I see a black bunched up sweater out of the corner of my eye, I think it's a cat.
Okay, guys, so I was just showing you here that I was clicking on the letters and they were following, and I could come back and watch it again as much time as I want. Okay, so this is a great tool also for you to your improve your listening, to improve your speaking, to improve your pronunciation. Okay. Okay, guys, we came to an end, and right now you can have your bonus, your gift. Nicholas, are you there? Now you're gonna know what is the gift. The gift is the book, How to Talk to Anyone. So I just have a book for you guys. It's a book in English. It's a PDF. Rob is gonna put the link in the chat. And through this book, I had already read this book, guys. It is amazing, and it is some tips how you can communicate with people not only in English but in any language, and how to make them listen to you. Okay, so just click there in this link and you can acquire your book, guys. I always have a PDF book on my cell phone. I download it and it's really useful, especially if you travel a lot like me, like if you have to wait in the airport, it's very good for you to have a PDF book on your cell phone, because during the airplane you can just read it and you don't have access to Wi-Fi or anything. Or maybe if you travel like by car but you're not driving, so you don't have signal, it's always good to have a PDF book there. And the English PDF is even better because you learn like a lot about the content, and you also are improving your English. Okay. Hey guys, like now we talk about all these many things, and probably you may have a lot of concerns in your head, right? Okay, so I learned many things. I cannot compare myself to others. There are incredible opportunities for me abroad. I can apply for a job that I can have like 80,000 reais a month. But how do I learn how to pronounce the words better? How do I apply for all these different processes? How can I express myself without translating the expressions? How can I feel confident in negotiations or job interviews? Oh my God, it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. And it would be impossible for me. It would be impossible for me to answer all these questions tonight, guys. But I hope you have already seen that I have lots to share with you, but not only me. Fortunately, I have been lucky enough to know many people throughout my journey in life, and all of them have a lot to deliver to you. And that's why I created a mentorship program, not only with me, but with the best of the best of the best. Okay, and they are gonna lead you, if you allow us, of course, in a journey that would make you achieve everything that you have always dreamed about. It's gonna be a 6 month of weekly interaction in a closed group for you to develop your abilities in English, not only your abilities with the language, but your abilities of negotiation, of being confident, of being able to turn around difficult moments, just like the one I had today, guys, to discuss about your weaknesses and how you can improve them. Learning with me and with foreigner teachers, like if you would like to listen to native English speakers, you can talk with them during this process. Discuss and put your English into practice, right? There is no such like there is no reason for you to have all this knowledge and you don't put it into practice. Okay, so with who are you going to do all of that? I have some guests, guys, some people that I invited to be part of this program with me. And the first one is Taylor. Taylor is a professor at the Georgia University. So she's a native English speaker. She's from USA. She's American, and she works as a professor of linguistics in Georgia University. And she was going to provide in this program, guys, a class about how to express yourself using expressions in English without translation. Okay, so remember when you were talking about how you can translate your ideas, your feelings, express yourself in English without translating the expression. So she's gonna be there to help you how to do that, and also you will have the opportunity to interact with her to make questions. She's gonna lead you all guys to improve a lot your not only your vocabulary, because expression is something that you only know when you experience the culture, right? And Taylor, she is American, but she has lived in Brazil, and she has not lived in any place in Brazil. She lived in Minas Gerais, and she speaks Portuguese fluently. So she knows all the expressions from the Mineiros, and she can help you to express all the same ideas, all the same thoughts that they have there in English. Okay. The next one is Ana Maria, my great friend. She's purchasing a doctorate in administration, and she's also a sales enablement specialist. She worked with me in this Canadian company that I work at right now. And she's a specialist in time management, right? So we all have the same 24 hours a day, but sometimes we don't use our time effectively. So she's gonna create a session, especially for us in English, on how to manage our time in a productive and effective way. So having our routine organized, that can just help us to achieve any goal that we have in life. Like if you want to have a Nobel Prize in life, if you know how to organize yourself and how to be productive with the 24 hours that we have a day, I'm pretty sure you can get there. So it's like a really valuable kind of knowledge, and it has helped me a lot. I would not never be here right now doing this webinar with you guys if I didn't have access to this content. Okay. Also, Vinicius right now, he's the latent expansion manager of Monetize More. That is the company that I work right now. But before, he was a sales rep, so he was responsible for selling, for the sales of the company, and he just nailed it, guys. He just nailed it. He just rocks. Like I have already had the opportunity to see Vinicius leading a sales process, and he just like even us that are just like watching it, we want to purchase anything that he's trying to sell. And like in Monetize More, our clients are the owners of websites. And just for you to have an idea, all the publishers that he brought to Monetize More, they already make $20 million. $20 million since they joined us. And so he just deals with the biggest accounts that we have there. And he had already closed deals with the biggest TV companies from Europe, the biggest TV companies of Portugal, some of the greatest factories in Latin America. And he's going to talk about what is the day-to-day life in an international company, and especially how to be convincing even when you're not speaking your language, right? Because imagine it is already very difficult to sell, right? If you have ever tried to sell anything, you know it's really challenging, and especially and imagine having to do that in another language, right? Especially in another language. So he can do it, and he's gonna tell us what are the tricks and how we can also be convincing when you're not speaking our language. Okay. Priscila is a global product manager. She used to work at RD Resultados Digitais. It is the biggest software as a service company in Brazil, and she created the whole channel of enablement in Resultados Digitais. She worked for 5 years there, and she got during this time, guys, just for you to have an idea, the company paid for her to go to the Silicon Valley to learn with the best of the best of the best of the world, because she created a project that was so good that they wanted her to go there to learn how to apply that project in Resultados Digitais, and they had like incredible results also. Right now she works at the same company as me, and she's gonna talk about soft skills. That is something that sometimes we don't even have any idea what is soft skills, you know. But she told me that she got everything that she wanted in life just because she knows how to get it, you know. And all the soft skills, all the ways that we can convince people, the soft skills that help us during the relationship, how to be, easygoing in our environment, all the soft skills that can boost your international career. She's gonna provide a session only about that. Okay, Roberto, that is also with us here. That is my support teacher, right? And he has, guys, a perfect British accent. If you are my student, and if you already had the opportunity to have a class with him, you will agree with me. And it's incredible for me that he has a great British accent without never ever had stepped in 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 England, right? He has never even traveled there, and he has a perfect British accent. So he is a psychologist, and he learned and he taught himself how to acquire this accent, and he created a methodology for it. So he's gonna have a class for us about accent reduction, accent acquisition, and techniques to understand the different kinds of accents right now. Guys, I don't know if you know, but 90% of technology companies in the world they have CEOs from India. So you can imagine, right, that the Indian accent is a little bit tricky and difficult to understand. So it's very good for us to have these techniques to understand and to be able to understand people with different kind of accents. And also today, guys, today, I unfortunately had this problem when I was starting my live here, but I was really happy because I invited Gabriela to be part of our mentorship program. I think 1 month ago I sent her an email, and today she gave me the answer. She accepted my invitation, and I'm really, really happy. She's the executive director and the CEO of Maple Road Consulting. That is a company that helps Brazilians to get jobs in Canada. So she prepares you since when you're going to apply for a job in the LinkedIn profile, how you create your LinkedIn profile, throughout the recruiting process, and she also provides job interview support. So she prepares you for the job interview. She works only with Brazilians who want to she only works with Brazilians that wants to work here in Canada. Okay, so she's gonna tell us how to prepare your LinkedIn profile to get a job in Canada. Okay, so to get that incredible opportunity that I just showed you, you will also have the opportunity to talk to Gabriela, to improve your chances of having that amazing opportunity that I just showed you. Okay. And also a surprise guest. I will have a surprise guest in our mentorship program that will talk about international academic processes. So muito bom, Erika. Thank you for the support. And I will have the surprise guest, and she's going to talk about academic process. So if you want to have a mentorship, if you want to have a master degree program, if you want to acquire any kind of scholarship to do college, she will help you to get there. I cannot tell who is it because I have two guests in mind, and as you can imagine, both of them are very busy right now. But just to give you a spoiler, guys, one of them is in Harvard Business School, and the other one is in Stanford. So both of them, they are like great assets, and any of them will give you like incredible source of knowledge of how you can apply and how you can, be successful in this journey. And I'm pretty sure that is if your dream is to get a doctorate, a master degree abroad, it's going to be an incredible opportunity for you. Okay. And also, if you join us in our mentorship, you're going to have 1 year of our conversation club. We have some people from the conversation club here. Milena, I see that she's there. And in this conversation club, we have 1 hour and a half of conversation per week, and you discuss TED Talks, right? So many of these tricks and many of the things that I have learned, guys, throughout the years is because I have watched many TED Talks, because all my classes, they are based in some of them. And as I told you guys, we can learn a lot, not only with expressions, not only with vocabulary, but also with some lessons for life, ideas that are worth spreading, and you have the access of 1 year of conversation club, 1 hour and a half per week discussing our TED Talks. Okay, probably, probably you are very excited about this mentorship program. You are very excited about all these incredible people that I would have. Like, of course, you're gonna have also classes with me, but my guess is the team that I have built is really amazing. And probably it's coming to your mind, okay, but how much does it cost? Okay, but it has a price. How much does it cost? And I would like to give you back the question. How much would you pay to have geographical freedom? To be able to live everywhere in the world? To just like pick a place and live there? How much would you pay for that? How much does it cost to never feel like you are not capable to communicate in English again? Because after my mentorship program, I can guarantee to you guys, you're not gonna feel that you are incapable to communicate again. How much does it cost to wake up one day and just say to yourself, you know what? I can talk English anywhere, anytime, with anyone. I have no problem with that. How much does it cost for you, that, guys? How much would you pay to make all the dreams that you had when you started thinking about learning another language come true? I don't know about you guys, but when I was starting to learn English many years ago, I was thinking about going to Disney, going to New York, going to Europe, working in an international company, seeing the snow. And I can say right now, except for Disney, because I'm gonna go there very soon, that I have realized all these dreams, right? How much would you pay to make all that dreams come true? How much would you pay from to go from the first picture to the second one? Guys, if I received this proposal 5 years ago, I would say everything I have. Like there is no enough price that I would pay to be able to be here where I am today, to live the life that I live right now. Guys. So I just talked about some of the prices that I would deliver for you guys. So today my hour costs 200 reais because I charge it in Canadian dollars, and we are talking about more than 30 hours with me, so it would be around 5,000. Okay, plus 2 hours of sessions with Taylor, and she asks $200 for hour. She charges 100 per hour, so 2 hours 200. Like right now we are a little lucky because the dollar is down. It's gonna be around 1,000 reais. The consulting with Ana Maria is 800 reais for you to have the opportunity to be led by her. Also, 2 hours with Vinicius, I just came up with this price, guys, because like he makes a lot of money, and if you are gonna calculate everything that he makes in dollar, because he receives revenue from the people that he brought to the company, and as I told you, he just brought people from that made $20 million, so it's a lot of money. I just came in because I'm being very generous and very optimistic. Let's say that he's gonna say 100 to 1,200, and also the consulting with Gabriela that I make. And also I forgot 1 year of our conversation club that right now I am charging 189 per month. So if you close with me, the 1 year would be 1,899. So if I make a sum of all of that, guys, 5,000 of my hours, plus the Taylor's time, plus Ana Maria, plus Vinicius, plus Gabriela, plus the conversation club, would be the amount of 11,000 reais. My goodness, it's a lot of money, right? But fortunately, I'm a very good teacher, so I'm gonna give you 50%. Yeah, maybe I can give you 50%. Guys, what do you think about 50% of 5,949 for having bi-weekly sessions with specialists, monthly sessions with foreigners, or 1 year with Conversation Club? I think it would be fair. I think it would be a fair price, but it's not even that also, guys. The price of our mentorship is going to be 12 installments of 299 reais that you can pay with your credit card. You can talk to me about paying it in other different ways also. And what you're gonna get with this mentorship, guys, 6 months of sessions with these specialists, everyone that I just told you. They're going to prepare you to have a master degree abroad, to have a college abroad, to have a job in other country. 1 year of our conversation club that I just told you that is incredible, and also analysis of your speech from native speakers. So after these 6 months, guys, I would ask you to provide us a TED Talk. So in the end of all this journey, I'm gonna have like a kind of a board, and you have the opportunity to take the mic on and just come here, just like I am doing with you right now, and present what what you have learned. So you're gonna have the opportunity to talk to people that can analyze your speech and tell you how you can be better and how you can increase and improve the level of your English. Okay, guys, and for the ones that join us in the next 24 hours, I'm gonna have a bonus of 6 special classes with foreigners. So monthly I invite some foreigners to be part of some special classes with us, and for the ones that join us in the next 24 hours, we're gonna have these special classes with foreigners as a bonus. Okay, guys, I hope you have liked everything that I have introduced to you today. This was an incredible experience for me. And thank you, Alcina. Thank you. And I hope you have been like able to learn anything with me today. I'm open to talk about my mentorship process, and I'd like to thank you a lot for staying until now. Okay, so yeah, this is the mentorship growth and talk to us about the payment with Pix. And now is the time for question and answer. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the chat. The questions can be about the mentorship program. The questions can be about English itself. It can be about living abroad. It can be about anything that I told here that you didn't understand. Roberto, please put the link of our mentorship in the chat, please. And yes, guys, I'm here to answer all your questions. Okay. If nobody has questions, I would invite you guys to see some of my testimonials. But I hope you guys have some questions for me, because I'm really, 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 really able to talk with all of you. Are you come back here? Yes, because I'm gonna put in the chat all the. I'm gonna put in the chat the the link if you wanna join us in our growth mentorship. Yes, I'm gonna take here and I'm gonna put there. Okay, great. Any questions, guys? Anybody who wants to send me any question? I'm gonna send you, Roberto, the link. It's gonna be fine. Perfect, no problem. So, guys, if you are still here with me, I'm gonna show you some of my. Oh, everybody's seeing my WhatsApp right now. I'm gonna show you some of my testimonials, and I'm really, really, yes, right now we have the mentorship here, and I'm gonna put some of my testimonials of my students. Thank you a lot for staying with me until now, and I hope that you guys have learned anything new tonight.
Hi guys, my name is Dennis or Denise, and I'm here to give my testimony about develops English and much more. I have been taking English class with Dao since 2020. Yeah. So I hope give to you a detailed statement. First, I need to say, uh, started English class with Dao was one of the best decisions of my whole life. Yeah, I started with her in my graduation, and now I'm graduate, and I can say what I learned with her at that time was important and still is. It's not only English things, but another things like life philosophies like Stoicism, or develop my abilities like how understand and control my feelings, self knowledge, how be a better person, right?
Perfect, guys. So that's it. I think we can call it a night. I would also like to apologize for the mistake that we had at the beginning with the link, and thank you a lot for being until now with me, guys. Have a great night, and I am able to talk about our mentorship program with you guys